My personal health journey has been going on for 10 years now. That is a third of my entire life. What's worse, for the majority of that 10 years, I was doing crap that would never lead to sustainable health. I was making mistake after mistake that constantly kept me in the dreaded loop of success and then regret. These are my 12 biggest mistakes from that 10-year journey, with steps that you can take to ensure that you never make them again. Mistake number 1, I focused on the way I looked, not how I felt. With social media, there is no escaping it. You have countless influencers ramming their shredded abs or big glutes down your throats. It is easy to think that how you look is directly linked to your health. It isn't. So often, I fell into the trap of picking the next new fad that promised me I'd shed fat and get the body of my dreams. And all it did was put me in the doom cycle of constant weight loss and weight gain. That changed when I switched the focus to how I felt. I lifted weights because I wanted to feel stronger. I did cardio I enjoyed because I wanted to feel fitter. When you make your goals about changing the way you feel, your actions will also follow suit. Which leads nicely onto mistake number 2, doing cardio to burn fat. There's something crucial that you need to know. There is no exercise that specifically burns fat. In fact, deliberate exercise only accounts for 5% of your total daily expenditure. That is not a lot. I went through a phase of doing a 45-minute spin every day before lifting weights because I thought the cardio would burn fat. Instead, I got severe saddle soreness that was something chronic. I make no apologies for that mental image. What it also did was ruin my energy levels when it came to lifting weights afterwards. And that is far from ideal. Your best bet is to focus your cardio exercise on what it's actually meant for, i.e., improving your heart and lung health. Not only will doing that make it more enjoyable, but it will also help you live longer with less risk of disease. Mistake number 3, I dropped my calories way too low. If your goal is weight loss, you have to be in a calorie deficit. There is no two ways about it. So it makes sense to slash your calories down to the bare minimum in order to get that goal quickly, right? Wrong. Severe calorie restriction is nothing more than diving headfirst into the binge restrict cycle that will keep you trapped in health limbo. All you will have to show for your efforts is constantly feeling hungry, moody, lethargic, and downright miserable. If you are looking at reducing your calories for weight loss, a small reduction is always going to be best. It may take longer, but you will sustain it. And that follows nicely into mistake number 4. I only focused on quantity. I spent years tracking my calorie intake on MyFitnessPal, obsessing over my numbers and berating myself if they were too high. It got to the point where the food I ate was picked solely for the numbers it provide on my app. And here's the lovely little kicker. Food companies are aware of this trend, so they produce healthy, low-calorie, highly processed food that is supposed to help you hit your goal. What they don't tell you is that sacrificing quality for the sake of getting your quantity right is only going to benefit their profit margins. What changed the game for me was realizing that better quality, mostly natural foods, that includes all the tastier full-fat products that left me feeling more full and more satisfied, whilst still being able to keep the quantity where it needed, was the ideal. Mistake number 5, I thought I had to train daily. Rest days are for pussies, right? That's what I believed anyway. Any day I wasn't training felt like I was taking longer to achieve my goal. So I pushed and pushed to train as often as I could. What I didn't know was that overtraining was doing the exact thing that I feared most. Because most of the gains that you make from exercise call from the days that you take off. Your body needs time to recover from the stress that you put on it, and then rebuild stronger than it was before. So constantly putting yourself under that stress will run you down to the point where you are no longer effective in any area of your life. So do yourself a favor and plan in rest days. Mistake number 6, I tried to do it alone. I was always a fit, active, sporty kid. I even did a sports degree at uni. And even so, I still had zero clue how to structure my exercise, nutrition, sleep, gut health, or anything else that would contribute to a better physical state. So I did what most people do. Hopped onto Google, typed in how to lose weight. I don't even have to tell you how many results flooded that search phrase. With so much information, it's easy to get confused and distracted if you go it alone. You constantly doubt whether it is working, you struggle with motivation, and there's more on that later, and you find yourself in a never-ending cycle of unsuccessful attempts at change. My health did a 180 the moment I asked for help, because I had someone with experience to guide me through the ups and the downs, and I had full confidence that I'd achieved my goals, even when things weren't where I'd hoped they'd be in that moment. Right, before I continue with mistakes 7 through 12, I need to tell you something. Right now, I am running a huge January offer for my flagship Thrive program. For a limited time only, I am offering a 25% discount on my Thrive program, but also throwing in lifetime access to my Thrive portal and 3 additional accelerator calls with me completely free. In 12 weeks, I will show you how to achieve the best physical health of your life, helping you to feel more energized, more productive, and more confident without sacrificing time in your business or personal life. Using my weekly 1% formula, you will easily incorporate healthy habits into your specific schedule without the need to overhaul your work and personal life or having to cram in face-to-face appointments in the gym. It is built around you and your schedule, and therefore is the ultimate health improvement program that is completely personalized to your time, your needs, and your goals. If you want to chat or book in your free zero obligation call, head to my calendar page using the link in the description. Mistake number 7. I always aimed for perfection. Take a moment right now and think to yourself, how often have you maintained perfection in anything you have been doing? If you answered higher than 0, you are doing better than me. I genuinely thought that results came from doing absolutely everything perfectly. Hit 100% of my workouts, hit my calorie goals 100%, get a perfect night's sleep 7 days a week. You can already see how impossible that is to maintain. Aiming for perfection guarantees you are set up to failure. And for me, any sort of failure was promptly followed by me smashing the button and ruining everything I'd worked for. That's why the key is to build in leeway. Work towards an 80% completion rate for the things that you need to do. That gives you a good 20% to enjoy yourself outside of your health confines. But please, don't go having cheat meals. They can absolutely do one, but I'll cover that in point 11. Mistake number 8, I dropped the ball with my sleep. According to all the Insta experts, better health comes from 2 things: exercise and nutrition. Get those 2 right and apparently you are guaranteed success. Turns out, there is so much to consider when it comes to improving overall health. But the biggest one that I sacrificed was sleep. I had 0 clue how much impact poor quality sleep was having on my appetite, my energy, my training intensity, my recovery, and so much more. I was putting tons into my exercise and nutrition without realizing that I was leaving 3, 4, and even 5 times as much on the table through crappy sleep. Sleep is the most effective, 100% natural, performance-enhancing drug you can find. Not just for improving your health, but improving your business and your relationships as well. So if you are looking at improving one thing right now, emphasize sleep. Work on getting the right amount for you with the best possible quality, and you're going to fast track your health improvements knowing. Mistake number 9, I'd wait for motivation to hit. I used to believe my lack of results meant I simply wasn't motivated enough. I was totally wrong. The thought that results come as a result of motivation is completely twisted, because in fact, it's completely the opposite. You have to first take action, because that will bring about results, and then you become motivated to do more. Waiting for motivation to get started was keeping me stuck whenever I found myself in the soddy phase of the never-ending cycle. You cannot achieve results without taking action. So do something regardless of your motivation. Once you start seeing and feeling the benefit, your motivation will start shooting up. Mistake number 10, I focused on lifting weight over floor. Lift heavy weights, gain muscle quicker, right? For years I thought so, meaning I'd walk into the gym and swing around weights that I simply had no business picking up. 2 things happened as a result that impacted my health journey. Number 1, I became as stiff as a board. The weights were too heavy for me to work out full range, so I never did. Working within that limited range destroyed my mobility, and it's taken me years to get back to a decent range of motion. Number 2, I was constantly getting injured. What else could I expect, really? Lifting weights that I wasn't ready for kept setting me back with aches, pains, and full-blown injuries. Some of the greatest advice that I ever got was to work at 7 or 8 out of 10 in terms of intensity every day that you work out, and to leave my ego at the door. It makes it much easier to stay consistent within each session, and that equals much faster results. Mistake number 11, I constantly used negative language. Do you know why I'm dead set against cheat meals? It's because of the word cheat. And when you think of that word, how does it make you feel? For me, it makes me feel guilty, makes me feel bad. It makes me feel incapable. Not exactly feelings you want to be associating with your health journey. You see, the words you use on a day-to-day basis have a lot of power. So when you're constantly using negative words within your health journey, you're going to feel pretty crap about how it's going. So things like falling off the wagon make you feel like you always have to be on it. Saying you've been bad with your food makes you feel crap for what you've eaten. But there is no wagon. There are no bad foods. And as I said before, cheat meals can do one. Instead, let's be positive with the language you use, because everything is part of the positive long-term lifestyle that you are trying to create. Mistake number 12, I only set goals that were short-term. For over 75% of my health journey, my goals were geared towards aesthetics. Weight, shirt size, inches, all that crap. I thought I was doing right by making it measurable, making it specific. You know, all that SMART goal stuff. What I didn't realize is that every aesthetic goal I set was unintentionally short-term. Why? Because there was no thought afterwards. I'd hit my target weight and think, now what? Typically, that led to me aiming to maintain, and let me tell you this, no one with the goal to maintain ever maintains. You always need something to push you, otherwise you're likely to slip back, just like I did every time. Better health is an infinite game. There is no winning. So you're much better setting goals that are going to keep you playing for the duration. When you set goals based on actions rather than outcomes, you're much more likely to stick with it for the long term. Now, the important thing when taking action on any of these mistakes is to focus on them one at a time. Trying to do too much all in one go is a surefire way to become overwhelmed and end up right back where you started. Next up on this YouTube journey to better physical health, I'll be walking you through everything that you need to build an efficient and effective exercise routine that'll leave you feeling stronger, being fitter, and looking better in as little time as possible. Make sure to subscribe to my channel to get notified when it drops, and I'll see you there.